thank you so much for coming along to talk with me again. Really enjoyed our previous meetings. I think our audience today are really going to learn a lot from you today, and that we've previously been talking about the success of your transformation of your online from person-to-person business into an online business through successful webinars and amazing leadership. So I think we can all learn a lot from you and how to run a successful webinar. So you've got a hell of a lot of experience in this. Now, how many are you running a week?
3 a week, every week, occasionally 4, like this week was 4, which was more than normal. But yeah, I mean, well, plus training calls in between. I mean, it can be many webinars of different types.
Over about 10 weeks or so, it has to be. So you've been over 300 in this short period.
I would say so.
Yeah. Fantastic. So hit us with your top 5 tips for running a successful webinar.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess some of this might seem blatantly obvious, but I've seen it done so badly in certain situations. But the main thing, I guess, is first of all, state a duration of how long the webinar is going to be. If you say it's a 30-minute webinar or a 40-minute webinar or a 10-minute webinar, and then stick to time. So, I mean, 3 minutes overruns, 4 minutes is acceptable, but anything beyond that is not acceptable. So stay at time and keep to time. And I guess on that note, the second thing I would say is begin on time, therefore. Yeah. The amount of times I have seen where people said, the webinar's going to start at, say, 7 p.m. And then it gets, you get on there a few minutes early, 7 p.m. comes, and then they're saying, oh, hang on a minute, we're just going to give it a few more minutes. I can see a few more people kicking on. And before you know it, it's 7:05 before they actually start their content. What we do is we aim to start with content that it doesn't overly matter too much if people are skipping in at the beginning. So it might be just in tonight's webinar, we're going to be covering, this and this. And if people miss that bit, then it's not so essential. So don't put your really most important stuff in the first 5 minutes, because, if people are having any technical issues going on, then that's the bit they're likely to miss.
Yeah, good advice. So yeah,
you want to sort of put you want to put your important stuff in the beginning. People's attention span is always higher in the beginning, and you definitely want to have a call to action at the end. And so start on time, keep to time, and look professional and tidy. I mean, I know there's all these like jokes going around of people in their pajamas from the bottom down. That's fine. But, I also see people appear on webinars and their top half looks like they've got out of bed as well. So,
yeah, top and
look professional and tidy, it's not difficult. And also another thing I would say is that, if you're doing a webinar where there's multiple speakers, so, you've got different people doing different parts, different presenters, let's say. So if you're not the one currently speaking, look engaged in the content. Don't be there suddenly like, oh, this isn't my bit, so I'm just going to check my messages, because people can see.
It happens, doesn't it? And it
really does. And and especially if you're trying to motivate a team and you're part of the leadership team, you really want to make sure all the leaderships are looking engaged, because if you're not engaged, we always think about the power of duplication. So people will duplicate what you do, good habits and bad habits. So therefore, if you're not the one speaking, look like you're still engaged in the content, and then your audience will also gravitate towards that. And then the last one is, I know, it is nice to, I guess, free flow webinars sometimes and just sort of feel like you're talking off the top of your head. But most of the time it needs preparation. And so particularly when you are talking to your prospective audience, your prospects, it really especially needs preparation. So, when we're doing a webinar specifically for our prospects, we write scripts. Like also on the slides, we will have scripted what we're saying. So we actually have a system at home where we have two screens. So one screen is, where the Zoom meeting is, if you like, or the webinar meeting. And the other screen is your PowerPoint slides with your script underneath. So it really, if you want to do it really professionally, so your webcam is, looking at you there, but you are looking at your PowerPoint slides with the script, whilst on the side there is the view that the Zoom meeting is seeing. Now, not everyone may be able to do that, I appreciate, so you can have scripts on pieces of paper or dotted around your screen or other ways. But, it depends on how important the content is, I guess. And we don't script everything, but certain things we do literally write what we're saying and then practice it enough so that it doesn't look like you're reading something and it's boring.
It's more concise as well, isn't it, if it's scripted and practiced?
Yeah, and so on the team calls that we do, they are more free-flowing. They're not scripted, but I still have a plan. So even before I go in, I have a plan of, what I'm covering today, what are my key points that I want to get across, what new news is there that needs to be mentioned or spoken about. So just that, every meeting you have a plan for it, basically. And so, that's what makes all these webinars count. And also it's your audience feels like, they're coming onto something that has a plan, and it's not just going to be a rambling, waffling thing that's going to go on and bore them to tears.
That's fantastic advice. So just another recap then. So time is important. Be punctual, start on time, finish on time. Have less information at the beginning just in case there's any latecomers, but start off strong and finish strong with your call to action at the end. If you're not speaking, make sure you are the one, that you still look engaged. Don't just think it's not my part and go off and start looking at your phone. And really helpful to have two screens and actually plan and have a script. That's amazing advice. Thank you so much, Kim.
You're welcome.
Brilliant.